Hi, I just want to introduce myself. When I say hi, I always kind of jerk my head back. And then when I watch that video back, it's always a little goofy. Just had to say that before we got started. So I want to introduce myself. My name's Tim McKenzie. I teach both philosophy and journalism here at Lincoln Land. I've taught philosophy. I got my master's degree in philosophy at Texas A&M in 2001. Did philosophy and religion before that at Greenville University in Greenville, Illinois. And I grew up in Mattoon, Illinois, just to give a little bit of the background there. Uh, I got through school and I thought, don't know about this whole philosophy thing, if that's going to work out. So I decided I'd go back to get a journalism degree after teaching a couple of years part time. I went to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, earned a master's degree in philosophy. I worked at a few places along the way. I worked at the Effingham paper one summer as an intern, the Peoria paper a year. I worked at a newspaper in Michigan for a little while, and then I went back to the Decatur Herald and Review, where I was a copy editor for about 7.5 years until they were going to eliminate my job or move my job to Nebraska, and I decided with a couple new kids at home, didn't want to do that. So I ended up applying to do more teaching. I was teaching at Parkland in philosophy. I started teaching here at Lincoln Land, and shortly thereafter they opened up a full-time position teaching both philosophy and journalism. So that's what I do. I run the student newspaper The Lamp, and I teach philosophy. As far as I mentioned that, I had a couple kids. I'll show you a picture. These are my sons. The older one is Max. He's trying to do this. That's Max. He is 7. He'll be 8. Actually, he's 8 when this course starts, but this is a picture's a little bit old. He's probably closer to 6 or 7 there. And this one is Truman. He's 6, and he's probably 5 in that picture. He might be, he's 5 in that picture. Anyway, I try to spend a lot of time with them. I am divorced, and they live with their mother in Taylorville, and I live in Rochester, so it's kind of a quick drive. But that's basically the gist of that. And I also will show you a picture. This is me with my girlfriend, Kate, and just thought I'd show you that. So that's just a little bit about myself. I've told you about my career and everything as far as it goes. Just sort of give you an idea of who I am. I always say, try to tell me something interesting when you do your introductory videos. So I will do that, or not videos, introductory discussion board. So as far as something interesting about myself, when I was 16 years old, I was riding my bike, and I was wearing a watch. I just got in a new watch. I used to wear those things. And I started to rain. I didn't want my watch to get ruined, so I started trying to take it off with my hands off the wheel. The steering wheel, or the bike steering thing, turned, handlebars turned, and I fell back and hit my head right here. There's still a little scar there. And it hurt really bad. I was not wearing a helmet. And so I got home, head hurt for several days. Didn't think anything was wrong until a few days later when I realized I couldn't smell anything that normally people could smell. Like new driveway, how they put that sealant on them, the blacktop driveways. Went to the school, the cafeteria didn't smell, things like that. And so quickly realized that I had lost my sense of smell. And so basically, they think when my brain kind of shook, that probably some of the connections got broken and I lost it. So the question always becomes is, can you taste? And the answer is, you don't get a body like this not tasting. So it's my little joke on the matter. But yeah, I can taste. I can still smell things that are really bad. When my kids were really little, when they were both in diapers at the same time, because they're about 18 months apart, less than 18 months, when they were both in diapers, sometimes one would poop, and of course they stay away from you, and so I would check them regularly. But what would happen is, sometimes my mom would come over to watch them, and as soon as she walked in the door, she'd be like, somebody pooped, and I'd be like, oh, I had no idea. But if I was within a foot or two of them, I could smell it, and sometimes I would just pick them up and just kind of smell their butts, and put my nose near it. I could tell if they had pooped or not. So not the most pleasurable, but I do consider kind of the superpower of parenthood not being able to smell poopy diapers. So there you go.